Hi guys, it's the Voodoo Doll from wonderland. Coming to you today to let you know about a 5-part series I'm going to do on tarot. I know there's a million videos on tarot cards. I've probably watched 999,000 of them myself. And in watching them, I kind of looked at what I would want to have viewed when I was trying to learn tarot. It was very hard. And the thing that, I didn't want to hear is when people would say, it's so easy, all you gotta do is, anytime somebody says all you gotta do with tarot, eventually I just check out. It's all you gotta do is shut the fuck up, because it is not that easy. Tarot is hard. It will break you down to a little puddle of nothing if you do not, if you don't approach it with the right mind. You have to be open-minded about it. You have to make mistakes. You have to know that you're not gonna get it on the first try, the second try, the third try. There may be some cards that you get right away, some cards you don't. You have to keep trying. And one of the systems that I learned and taught myself to learn tarot, because I quit, and then I went back into it, and it was to ask questions. It's not enough just to learn the cards and be able to regurgitate what you read that they mean. It's applying them to real life situations. There's maybe 4 categories of readings that you'll do. You'll do love readings, business readings, general readings, and if it comes up, reversed. So you've rehearsed what it means, but you don't know how to correlate what it means to a business reading. Or you only know love readings, but if someone asks you a general reading, you don't know how that card correlates to a general reading. So with learning all of the cards and being able to adjust them and relate them to each of the subgroups of readings, you'll be able to read anything. If you're reading a Celtic cross, which is 10 cards, you'll be able to relate those to whatever situation the person is asking you. You have to learn the cards one by one and then be able to look at them in generally overall. So I have 2 decks I'm going to work with in this series. I'm going to work with the Tarot in Wonderland deck by Barbara Moore, which is not really based on the Rider-Waite system. It's a very awesome deck. If you've never heard of it, you should look at it. It's very animated, it's vibrant, and it's awesome. She's adapted her own views to the cards. They are not strictly Rider-Waite. A more strict Rider-Waite tarot deck is a Golden Tarot, and that's by Cat Black. So I'll be working with the 2 of these. So we're going to go through 5 categories. We'll do the major arcana first, and then we'll do the minor arcana, and we're going to break it down into cups, swords, wands, and pentacles. So those are going to be the 5. The first series I'll release this week, and then subsequently every week after that. So we'll work through it slowly. They're probably going to be long videos. We'll figure it out together. I have never done this before. I promise you I'm not going to make it too long, but each card, maybe 5 minutes on each card tops, and we'll move through it. There are over 70 cards though, so it is going to be like the series, which is why I'm breaking it up. So I'll be releasing that this week, and I hope to see you in all 5 series. I think it will be fun. We'll have some interactive things on my Facebook page that I've started just to be able to get you guys into the mode of reading and reading for each other, hopefully. You can't leave pictures under comments on YouTube, so we'll have a Facebook forum for you all. That way you can read and kind of help each other along this journey, because it is a journey and it's a long road, and sometimes it's a hard road. So pour yourself a drink, get your papers out, get your pens. I wouldn't say any psychotropics or drugs or anything like that, because that's definitely not going to help you with this, but a drink for sure. Pour a stiff one, and we will work through this together. To successfully follow along with this series, you are going to need a few things. Something to write with. Paper to write on. Really? Seriously? No. That's for after. I mean, come on. Seriously, you didn't even put a straw in there. Come on, stop. Yes, that is it. A drink. That's what you need, a drink. Gather these materials and meet me in 2 seconds. On your piece of paper, you're going to write 3 questions. 1 question is going to be pertaining to love. Ask a question that you would ask a card reader. I'm looking for love in my life. Can you tell me what to expect? The next question you're going to write down is a general question, asking about your future, what the future holds in the next 6 months. The last question we are going to write down is a business-related question. I'm thinking of starting my own business. Can you tell me what obstacles I may face in the future? Now that we have all of our materials, let's begin. During the course of this study, we are going to ask ourselves these 3 questions for every card that is inside the major arcana. We're going to ask a business question, a love question, and a general question, and then we will reverse the cards and answer those questions with the reversed cards for each card. Welcome to the first set of Tarot with Voodoo. So we are looking at the Fool card. The Fool card is the first card in the deck. It is not numbered number 1, but it is the first card. We have 2 different decks that we're going to be working with. We have the Fool from Kat Moore. She uses a more strict Rider-Waite type of design. And then you have the Fool card from, this is Barbara Moore. Sorry, this is Kat Black and this is Barbara Moore. And this is Tarot in Wonderland. This is my favorite one. In front of you, you should have your paper with your 3 questions on it. Your questions are going to be a general question, a love question, and a business-related question. Then we will reverse these cards as well as all cards in the deck, and we will ask these questions and interpret them as if they were reversed. So if you're looking at the Fool card, you see that they are not really paying attention to their surroundings and they're kind of just going about their day. You see here, the dog is actually warning this person that there's a cliff ahead. This person is totally not paying attention. They are just in their own world. They're not stressed out. They're not really running. It's a slower pace of movement in this card. This bitch, I don't know why she designed this card like this, but it made me laugh so hard because if you look at the cat is like, I wish you would. This cat is sick of her shit and does not care. At least here we know the dog cares, which is funny because usually cats are the ones that are warning us and dogs just, you know, are stupid and whatever. I'm a cat person. This one right here, cat gives 0 fucks. So she is going to jump straight into this hole and, you know, the cat is just going to watch her do it. These cards are so fun, but they do not follow the Rider-Waite traditional meaning. So if you are just learning how to read tarot, then I would suggest you go with Kat Black's deck or the traditional Rider-Waite deck, and then when you get better, then go ahead and jump over to something really fun and animated like Barbara Moore's deck. It is so fun, it's so vibrant, and you'll see every card throughout this series because these are the 2 that I'm going to use. So the Fool basically means beginnings, innocence, adventure, faith. It's reminding us of our inner child as well as reminding us to have fun. It doesn't necessarily mean you are a fool. It just means innocence. You know, when someone's naive and they have that type of childlike naivete, whatever you want to call it, that doesn't mean that they're a fool. They're just a different type of energy. It doesn't mean that they don't have discernment. It doesn't mean that they can't tell right from wrong. It just means they go. It's a high energy card. It means go forward. Go forward. There's adventure involved. Things are going to be fun. You may not know the entire route, but begin anyway. It's just about starting, beginnings. If this were a love reading and someone asked you a question about meeting a new boyfriend and they thought that this was their soulmate and the Fool card came up, you would not say, you are being stupid. You would say, proceed, have fun, have adventure. It looks like it's exciting, but also make sure that you are dotting all of your I's and crossing your T's. You may be head over heels for this person, but take your head with you and just be on the lookout for signs. You know, be on the lookout for that cliff and be on the lookout for that hole. Be on the lookout for that friend that's going to stand there and watch you jump into that hole and not tell you a damn thing. Just keep your eyes open. If this card were to be reversed, it would basically mean we have here, it's reminding us to have fun. If this were a love reading, this card reverse would be telling the person to have fun. Remember to have fun. Remember what it feels like to just go on a trip and not know exactly where you're going, like with your best friend when you first learned how to drive. Even going to McDonald's was exciting then. Like that's the Fool card, the energy of the Fool. Caution, of course, please take caution, but if it's reversed, it's saying go ahead. Go ahead and have fun. Go ahead and let your inner child play. But of course, you're going to be mindful of the dangers that could be in front of you. If it were a business reading and someone were asking you about their business and should they go into business with someone, if this card came up reversed, it could mean that it could be fun for you. It could be a fun business adventure. Don't try to figure out all the statistics right now. Just focus on what you want to do with that person. If you would like to work in business with this person, then go ahead. You're also going to read it into relation with all the other cards around it. So it's not like it's going to be a one card draw, but that is what this card means. If it were a general reading and someone were saying that they were stuck in life and unhappy, if it was reversed, then it would mean, you need to have more fun. You need to introduce more fun into your life. Maybe you're too strict on yourself. Maybe you're not allowing yourself to tap into your inner child. If it was upright, then it would say, I see that you are having fun and I see that you are allowing life to take you where it may, but maybe you need to slow down just a little bit and weigh all the options. You really need to see it in relation to all of the other cards that are around it. But that's the type of exercise I want you to do with each card. Every single card, I want you to watch what I say, and then we're going to freeze it, and then I want you to go through your own answers, your own questions, and answer them yourself. Read each card for each question that you wrote down, then reverse the card, and then go back and give yourself an answer for each question if it were reversed. That is how you are going to memorize these cards. I also want you to think of everyday situations and tarot cards. So if you come across a situation and your friend is asking you for advice and immediately pops in your head the Fool, think of it that way. Not calling her a fool, but try to relate normal day things to the cards. So if there's another situation and you feel like, gosh, maybe I just need to have some fun and maybe I've just, been too bogged down with all my responsibilities right now, then you would think, what card in the tarot deck best represents what I'm feeling right now or which way I need to proceed? The Fool. The Fool card. Pull that out of yourself and start memorizing these 70 plus cards in that way, and that is exactly how you will become a tarot master. The Magician. The Magician card symbolizes being able to have, be, or do anything you want. That is my favorite motto. I always tell you that you can have, be, or do anything you want. And the Magician card is there to remind us of that. If you look here, he has all the elements around him. So he has pentacles, cups, wands, swords. Everything is here, meaning that he possesses everything that he needs to move forward and manifest anything he wants in life. If this card were to come up in a reading and it was a love question, say someone is wondering, should I enter back into the dating scene? I can never seem to find anyone that I like and I just want my soulmate, but I don't feel like it's for me in this life. What do you see for me in love? If this card came up, this would be a great card for them, because this is saying shake all of that doubt, shake all of that self-loathing, get rid of all your past experiences, all your past failures, and tap into your inner self. Really know yourself. Really know exactly what you want. Maybe the reason you haven't been able to manifest your soulmate is because you don't know exactly what you want. How tall is your soulmate? What color eyes does he have? Does he have blonde hair, tan skin? What's your preferred sign? Asking your querent these questions or yourself these questions will help you hone in on what you really want and manifest exactly what you want. So many times people say, I want love, or I just want to meet my soulmate. And they put that energy out and they focus solely on that. And the universe sends them somebody that is 5'2" and has a unibrow. Oh my God, well, not him. Well, bitch, you weren't specific. So this is what we had in the general pile up in manifestation heaven. this is what you get. You didn't say you wanted him to be a certain amount, but we sent you this guy because he's going to worship you like a queen. He's going to be an amazing father. He makes amazing money every year, and he will never cheat on you. He's the best thing for you on the planet. But you didn't specify what you wanted that gift to come in. You didn't specify the packaging. You said, I want my soulmate. He is your soulmate, but he looks like Danny DeVito. You didn't specify, so you can't be mad. You have to start working on manifesting. That's what the Magician card is telling you. If you're trying to find your dream career, or you've started so many businesses and they failed, and you can't figure out exactly how to get it off the ground, and you feel like you're right there, but you're still kind of stuck. If this was a career reading, this card would be telling us, go back to square one. What kind of business do you want to start? What kind of salary or income do you want to make a year? Are you going to have employees when you first open? Are you going to do it alone? Do you have to sell your house to be able to finance all the things you need for this business? You need to have a solid plan of attack when you're trying to manifest, when you are trying to be the magician, because you have every single thing inside of you to get exactly what you want, but you're not clear on your vision. Something's missing. Something's missing. One of these 4 elements is missing within this plan, and you need to figure out what that is inside of you that you need to focus on to be able to yield all the powers of the universe to manifest exactly what you want. If this card were upside down in a reading, then it would symbolize, you know what? You do have everything, but something is wrong here. Have you given up? Are you the type of person that gives up when things get hard? Did the universe throw you a couple loops and you just gave up and sat down? Are you thinking in terms of reality? If you're trying to manifest $1 million, which is completely possible for any of us to manifest, how are you going about it other than buying $2 worth of scratchers every week at the grocery store when you go shopping? Are you doing things to manifest $1 million feasibly to you that the universe can give to you in a way that it does not have to deliver it to you via the lottery? This is a card of reassessing. Yes, you can still do everything you want, but you're not doing something, is what this card is telling you if it's upside down. There are a lot of questions that you can ask someone in regards to what they are doing to truly tune into and harness the power of their inner magician. So please make sure you ask your current questions. A tarot card reading shouldn't just be telling people, telling them things. It should be asking as well. When I do tarot card readings via email, I'll ask questions. Sometimes I don't need to ask a lot because I'm pretty in tune with my higher self as far as divination, but I do ask a few questions. I will ask a few questions for clarification, but if I am having the privilege of doing a phone reading or an in-person reading, I ask a million damn questions, because the more questions I ask, the clearer it becomes to me what this is trying to tell me, and then I start tuning in and connecting, and then I'm reading the other cards clearer and more in tune with what my higher self is trying to get me to tell you via these pictures on this card. That is who we are talking to when you read tarot cards. Please do not think, oh, the cards said. The cards didn't say shit. You said. You are talking to yourself. When you start divining with cards or with pendulums or anything, the only thing you're talking to is your higher self. The cards did not tell you to go have sex with that man and then mock you after you do it because his wife came and beat you up. That's not the cards. That is you not being in touch with yourself, and that is you not knowing what the hell you were doing. And it's funny, and I laugh, and we laugh. You're probably laughing now, but I have seen this happen before, where girls will do things and say, well, the cards told me this, and this happened to me, and I don't understand why. I'm never trusting the cards again. It's because they're disconnected from themselves. They wanted to do what they wanted to do, regardless if that card had came up all reversed, the spread, every card had been reversed, they were still going to do exactly what the hell they wanted to do. You are not talking to the cards when you read tarot. You are talking to yourself. These cards only pull out thoughts via images that you can understand from your higher self. So if your higher self is saying, hey, you really need to figure out what you want to do and business and you need to sit down and really write out all of your goals, it probably can't tell you that unless you are either a psychic or a telepath and you're able to hear that or see that clairvoyantly. The universe can't talk to most people that way. So when most people take to cards, the universe can talk to you via those cards. I cannot tell you how many times that I have had instances where I've shuffled the deck and I've asked a question and I said, I'm going to ask it again a different way, and it's not humanly possible, but I will get maybe 4 out of 6 of the cards will be the same cards that I had before, because it's myself giving me a message. And I've done that several times where I will keep getting the same cards. Now this deck has over 70 cards in it. Shuffling it for 2 minutes, focusing on my intent, asking a question, and then pulling up 40% of the same cards, that's not really statistically possible. People would say that's impossible. It is possible because you are talking to yourself, and that is how it's talking to you. That's why you'll keep getting certain cards. If you keep asking the same stupid ass questions, it's like the universe saying, bitch, how many times do I have to tell you? Listen to me, listen to yourself. So I wanted to make that very clear. Cards are not telling you anything. You're telling yourself it, and you're interpreting that message from yourself via the images on these cards and what these images represent. So get to know these cards extremely well, and you will get to be able to talk to yourself extremely well with zero mistakes. You will get it every single time, and you will really be able to navigate through your life so much easier and more confidently when you have that connection to your higher self. The High Priestess, she represents secrets, the unknown, lifting the veil, your subconscious. So here you see she's looking in the mirror, and there is a reflection of what she could be, and there's a reflection of what she actually is. This is what she is. This is what she has the power to be. She's looking here, and you see there's a veil, there's the 2 pillars, masculine and feminine. It's telling you to look within. Sometimes we are in a position in our life that is beneath us. We could do so much better, but we haven't tapped into our subconscious. We're not connected to ourselves to be able to see that vision. Just because you work at McDonald's today does not mean that you could not be Bill Gates tomorrow. Everybody has a start. This card is allowing us to see that. You're not going to see the whole picture, but it gives you a glimpse. You see here she has a glimpse. She's looking at herself in the mirror, and she's, the High Priestess. Here she is. In the mirror, it doesn't have directions written down the mirror saying, first you need to go to college, then you need to get a degree, then you need to not have kids, then you need to go get a PhD. It doesn't say that. She has a glimpse of the future, but it's not giving you directions on how to get there. You have to figure that out. But first you have to know that there's more out there for you and that you can have anything you want. So this is a transformation card. It can mean sacrifice. Sometimes you have to sacrifice things to become your higher self. You really do. It is a glimpse of the future possible. The journey is not clear, but it is possible. And believe me, if you can think of it, then you can achieve it. And that's what that card is. She's a keeper of secrets. She's a keeper of secrets. If this were upside down, then I would assume that this person may not be connected fully to their higher self. Possibly they don't believe that anything better is in store for them. Possibly they're broken down and they need a little pep talk. It depends on what the other cards are around it. But this upside down, I would strongly think that it means that this person is disconnected from the possibilities of the future. They need to move on. They need to step into their higher self, connect to the unknown, connect to yourself. You really need to not be afraid of the unknown. If this card is calling you to connect to your higher self, and to get that you have to stop doing drugs, then you have to stop doing that. This is a card calling you to your higher self. This is one of the few cards in the deck that are calling you to your higher self. The Empress is the mother card of the deck. The Empress represents fertility. It can represent abundance, nature, comfort, motherhood. It really is the confidence of knowing. It is the opposite of the high priestess card, which is the discomfort of not knowing. You know, you're not knowing your subconscious. This one is the comfort of knowing. You see, she's comfortable, she's happy, she's got a child in her lap. The symbols of fertility here with the rabbit. And you have here, Alice is taking care of the Empress. What she's doing is she's mothering the Empress, and she's teaching her how to do these things. She's not just doing it for her. That's another aspect of the Empress card, is that she is teaching her how to do this so that she may do it for herself in the future. She's giving her education. She's giving her empowerment to be a better person. And that's another aspect of the Empress, is empowerment, mothering. Someone may be the Empress to you, or you may be the Empress, but it is the mother figure of the deck. If it were upside down, then we would assume that either this person needs to be mothered or be more motherly, or maybe they have a broken relationship with their mother, or maybe they're cut off from their motherhood, their abundance, their womanhood, kind of. If you, and I want to also say, not womanhood, their femininity, because these cards don't have sexes. So this could be a male that needs to connect to his feminine side. He could be out of touch with his feminine side. Maybe he needs to round off the corners and be more gentle. It does not have a sex. So upside down is just letting us know that we need to connect to our femininity, whether we are male and whether we are female. It could be someone that has a bad relationship with their mother. You really want to read it in accordance with all of the other cards. And you should also be pausing after every single card and making sure that you ask yourself your 3 questions that you wrote down. Ask them straightforward, and then reverse the cards and think about how you would read it if they came up reversed for each question. You don't have to own a deck of tarot cards to start learning tarot. Start asking questions. Write this stuff down. If you can't afford a tarot deck, this is an amazing way to memorize the cards and get to know what they are before you get your deck in the mail. And when you get your deck in the mail, because we can't go shopping now because of the damn coronavirus, you are going to fly through readings and really accelerate your growth as a reader by being able to formulate questions for the cards and remembering what scenarios in life would bring up each card. You'll be a master in no time. The Emperor. This card is the father figure of the deck. If this card comes up, it's representing fatherhood. Even if it's a woman, we know that the cards don't have sexes. Maybe someone needs to realign with their masculinity. But the Emperor is the provider. You see here that he's providing. He has a bunch of pheasants, I don't know what they are here. And he is holding money in his hand or food. So he's a provider. It's about planning for your future. This person usually is good with money. They're stern and they're strict. You can think of it, if you wanted to personify them, like, you know, how people usually go ask their mom. His mom is usually easier, and dad usually has the stereotype of being a more harder person to win over. And that's how you would memorize the Emperor. He is set for success here. He's on his throne. He's got the lion. So the Emperor is the provider. It's asking us to pay attention how the decisions we make affect others. So if you are a provider and this is your goal, this is your job in life, to provide for your children, it doesn't have to be children. You could be a boss. Making sure that the decisions you make in your life, that this card should govern those decisions to make sure that they are not affecting the people in your life negatively. You want to make sure that you are taking care of responsibilities and that you have everybody else's best interest at hand, that we're not being too controlling or miserly in our ways. Upside down. Upside down would be, are we being too strict? Are we being too miserly? Are we hurting people with our decisions? Are we providing enough? Are we providing too much? Are we being taken advantage of? You really have to look at all of the other cards in the suit. But that is the gist of the Emperor, upright and reversed. He's the father figure of the tarot deck. The hierophant is our religious card in the deck. The hierophant usually means trying to find your identity within the whole. If that is religion, or if that is within a group, say even a covenant, trying to find out what you believe in, what you believe is right, how do you identify with that? Do you need to go to church? Do you need to find a coven? Or if you're fully comfortable in how you identify, do you need to teach someone else? Is there someone else that you can mentor? This card is a great card. It's basically asking us to reassess our beliefs if we need to. It's about introspection, values, the status quo, identity, conformity. Do we know exactly how we stand? Now, if we are saying that we are Christians and this card is reversed, if we are Christians and we're saying, I'm a Christian, I'm a devout Christian, but you have never been married and you have 4 children by 7 different men out of wedlock, and your boyfriend now currently has a wife, you might want to go ahead and reevaluate this hierophant card severely, because you are out of line. You don't know exactly what you believe. You cannot claim to be a Christian and then break all of Christianity's rules. That would be a scenario where this card would come up. So if this card came up for someone in a love reading and it came up reversed, I might ask this person, the person that you are considering dating, do you have the same religious beliefs? Are you compatible religiously? If you're not religious, are you compatible on your morals and your beliefs? If you're considering having children with someone and you're an atheist and that person is a Christian, that may not affect your relationship dating-wise, but when you have children, you are going to be in for a big surprise, because you're going to realize that you might not be compatible as parents as an atheist and a Christian, but you are superbly wonderful together as a couple, because there's nothing else that is your responsibility. He can be an atheist at home and do nothing, and you can go to church and not talk about it, and you guys live fine. But when you have a child, you want to go get that child baptized, you may have the showdown of the OK Corral with your lover when a child is introduced, and that relationship might not work. So this is just knowing your values, knowing exactly where you stand. In a business reading, if this card came up in business, I may ask the person, is your job following everything morally that you believe in and you stand for? Are you working for a good company? Is your boss a good boss? If they're the boss, are you a good boss? Are you conducting business in line with your morals? This card is calling us to look in ourselves and make sure that everything in our life is in alignment with our morals and beliefs and what we believe in. And if we don't know exactly what we believe in, then it's time for us to find out. The Lovers. The Lovers doesn't necessarily represent lovers. It's about choices and decisions, difficulty in making choices. And you see here, this one represents it so wonderfully. This person here, the knave, he has the Queen of Hearts to his side, and she is doing her, take it away, off with your head type thing. And you have Alice here, who has her hand supporting him, and she's like, whoa, bitch. She is the voice of reason here. This is what this represents. Do you know how you like to be loved? Do you know how to love people properly? The Lovers ask a lot of questions when it comes up. It's not necessarily that you found the love of your life. That's the Two of Cups. This one is about decisions and about questioning the nature of love and how to proceed. Some of the key words for this card would be crossroads, choices, trust, relationships, partnerships, communication, duality, sexuality. If this card came up in a love reading and someone wanted to know about their lover, I would ask them, do you know how you like to be loved? Do you know your love languages? Do you know your lover's love languages? Are they compatible? Is he the type of person that offers more of an Ike Turner love where you would prefer more of an Idris Elba? You need to know exactly where you stand in love. If you do not know what love is, then you need to examine that. If you don't know how your partner needs to be loved, then you need to ask them. This question is all about love, figuring out where you stand in love and how you view love. If it's coming up reversed, then that just means we're just not in touch with love. We don't know exactly how we like to be loved. So this one is telling us to just kind of go within. You got to ask yourself more questions. If this is not working for me, how can I make it work in love? If it's a business reading, this may not be compatible for me business-wise. I need to figure out what is it about this job that I like and what is it about this job that I hate. Can I fix the things that I hate, or can I at least live with them, or do I need to move on? It's about choices. It's not actually about sexual love all the time, though it can be. So that is the lovers. Pause this video, take a break, take some water, do whatever you need to do, and ask yourself those 6 questions. The 3 questions upright, and then the 3 questions reversed, and then go on to the next one. The Chariot card is asking us the question of, do we have everything we need to take us where we want to go? And it reminds us to do the best with what you have while you have it to get to where you need to go. The Chariot card here in the Alice in Wonderland Tarot is my favorite because you see here she's playing this game and everything has a life of its own. This illustrates more vividly the Chariot card than the traditional Rider-Waite card. Now I'll explain to you why. She is playing a game. I don't know what game this is. Let's just say it's golf, which I know it's not. She has a flamingo. This flamingo has a life of its own. The hedgehog. She has to hit this hedgehog over there. The hedgehog has a life of its own. The goal. They are alive. They have a life of their own. You see how calm she is here. She's not stressed out. She's calm. She's got the neck. She's figured out how exactly to hold this being and to hit this being to get it to go over there. Life is full of moving parts, and everything in life has an energy and emotion of its own. It is so important to be able to navigate the cards that you are given. And you see here that she has become a pro with what she's been given. Would it be easier to hit this thing over there, A, if it wasn't alive, and B, if she had an actual golf club? Sure, but she does not. So she's made the best of what she can out of this, and she's playing the hell out of this game. And she even has this card bending over for her, and this guy spotting her. It's like she's a pro now. And anybody else that came into the situation would be chasing this thing all over the grass, and this thing too, fighting with it, and probably have cussed this person out 6 times for moving. So she's past all that. You know, if we had 10 cards showing how she got up to here, I'm sure all of those actions would have been displayed in that, including him with the 2 black eyes she gave him. But she's a pro now, and she's calm, and she's got this shit. And that is what the Chariot card is telling you. It is telling you that you are going where you're going. You may be on the right track, and you may even be calm here, but there's always another level. Life is always going to keep moving. It's going to keep changing. It's don't lose your drive or your ambition or your determination. You know, here, let's just say if this was a college degree, she has a master's here, but maybe she needs a PhD. Well, you know, if we could see the next set of cards and it was, you know, the Chariot Part 2, then the next one would be her with, I don't know, trying to play this with an elephant and a baby seal trying to throw it through, you know, a hoop on fire or something like that. Like she levels up and it gets harder, but you would see her in that card and she would be so confident and cool with that elephant and that seal, and she would get that thing through the ring of fire. It's about doing what you can to get to where you want to go. Nothing's ever going to be easy for you in life, especially when you set a goal and you have something that seems impossible in your head. Think of this card. Think of the Chariot. Think about her losing her shit and chasing this little furry ass guy all over the lawn, screaming and cursing, but we don't see that. And that's the same thing with real life. When you're starting something and we say, oh, this person made it and they're such a success, we didn't see them chasing hedgehogs over the grass, cussing people out, trying to figure out how to hit a damn puck with a flamenco. We didn't see that. We just see them in their glory with their millions of dollars in their house and their nice car on MTV Cribs, but we didn't see this. Everybody that's successful has at one point or another been the chariot. They've had to master the chariot card, and that is what it is telling you. Don't give up. Figure out how to play the game with what you have and go to the next phase as soon as possible, and be ready for it to be crazy again and have to master that level and then go to the next thing, repeat and rinse until the day you fucking die. It never stops. It never stops. The chariot reversed. So if this were to come up reversed, we're going to ask a few questions to our querent or of ourselves, depending on what the reading is. Some of the questions that you would ask, are, do I need to change course? Because the chariot is about staying on course. So do I need to change course? And why do I need to change course? What am I missing? Not changing your goal, not changing direction, changing course. Changing course and changing direction are two totally different things. You can still be en route to the post office, but you have to change your course because there's an obstacle, but you're still going into the same direction. You're still going towards your goal. So do I need to change course? What are you missing? Are you letting obstacles get in your way? Are people's opinions getting in your way? Are you a quitter who never finishes anything? This card could be reminding you that you quit everything you start. You never finish anything. You could be blocked, and then you need to go back and figure out why does this happen to you all the time? Why do you always lose motivation? Are you someone who quits when things get tough? If it's a love reading, that would be a question you would ask someone in a love reading. Do you always run when things get tough or you don't get your way? Also, not focusing on what is not in your control. If this card comes up and it's something of a general reading, or someone's having trouble at work and everything seems to be going wrong, stop focusing on what is not in your control and focus on what is in your control and put your power there. If you're being evicted and you're focusing on the eviction and you're getting kicked out, that is the wrong thing to focus your energy on. That's not within your control now. Whatever happened, happened. What is in your control is finding a new place to stay, finding solutions on where to put your things if you have to go stay with someone else. If you don't have anyone to stay with and you can't find a new place, finding a shelter or some sort of program that can take you in before the sheriffs come and lock you out. Those things are within your control. So that would be questions that you would work through with your querent if they were facing a situation like that. Also, do you accept help from people when they want to help you? How they want to help you? This card could also be you're needing help on your journey and you're the type of person that can't ask for it, or you can't accept help, or when people try to help you because it's not exactly what you want, you don't accept the help, and then possibly you ridicule them. You need a place to stay. Let's use the eviction thing again. You're being evicted and your best friend doesn't offer you a place to stay and can't offer you any money, but they offer you their garage to put all of your things into their garage. And your response is, oh yeah, well, thanks, fuck you, but I need a place to stay. Thanks for asking me to come stay with you. Not the right response. This card would be reminding you of that. Are you accepting help from people the way that they want to help you and allowing it to be good enough, even though it's not exactly what you wanted from them? Accept it and be grateful. So this card upside down gives us a lot of things to ask our querent or ourself when it comes up reversed. Great questions that you can ask to get a deeper meaning in your reading, especially with the other cards that are going to be around this card. You can really help your querent work through the situations that they came to you for, which is what you are here to do. You're here to help. When you get a reading or someone comes and gets a reading from you, you are there to help and assist. And to assist, you have to ask questions.